Two pairs of trekking trousers, same tough weave, same reinforced knees. One costs $60, the other costs $200. The only difference is a little fox stitched on the thigh. Fjallraven built a real trouser, then sold you the logo, 6 hiking brands to stop buying, and 3 still worth every penny. You know the feeling. You bought a shirt the rack called a hiking shirt. Cotton, soft, comfortable in the store. Then you wore it up a climb, you sweat through it, and the wind hit. It went cold and clammy and stayed wet for the rest of the day. That shirt did not fail because it was cheap. It failed because cotton was never going to work. Cotton holds water like a sponge and dries like a brick. Against your skin in the wind, that is how you get cold and stay cold. Nobody told you because the label was busy selling you a look. Or maybe it was the trousers, $175, $200, bought because everyone on the trailhead had the fox. Here is the truth the marketing buries. The mountain never checked your logo. It checked whether your fabric wicks or soaks. It does not care what the tag cost, what the brand stands for, or who else owns the trailhead in the same jacket. It is a brutally honest reviewer. Wet is wet and cold is cold, no matter the name. Let me show you who is selling you the badge and who is still selling you the trail. Number 1, Fjallraven. And I am going to be fair before I am blunt, because this brand earned a real reputation. The G1000 fabric is genuinely tough. It is a dense weave, 65% polyester and 35% cotton. You can rub Greenland wax into it to push the water resistance higher. The Vita Pro trousers carry double-layer reinforcement over the knees and the seat, with openings for knee pads. The Keb adds stretch panels and reinforcement down the lower leg. These are real trail trousers. I will not pretend otherwise. The problem is not the trouser, the problem is the price and what is driving it. The Vita Pro runs about $180, the Keb runs higher. And somewhere along the way, Fjallraven stopped being a trekking brand and became a lifestyle one. The Konken backpack, a simple square bag, turned into a fashion accessory. It is worn through cities by people who will never see a switchback. That little Arctic fox now does a lot of the heavy lifting on the price tag. You're not buying a better knee anymore, you're buying a status marker for the trailhead parking lot. Here is the part that stings. A densely woven poly-cotton trekking trouser with reinforced knees is not exotic. Honest brands build the same densely woven reinforced trail trouser for $60 to $80. You are paying a $100 premium, and a real chunk of it is the fox, not the fabric. Think about the math. A $180 Vita against a $60 trouser with the same poly-cotton weave and the same reinforced knee. That is $120 for an embroidered animal. The G1000 is good. The markup on the badge is the issue. Wax it if you want more weather resistance, leave it bare if you want it to breathe. That customization is genuinely clever. But clever fabric does not justify a fashion brand price. A smart hiker buys the function and skips the emblem. The label is never the layer. The next one does not even have the fabric to defend, just a tagline. One quick thing, and it's the one you've been asking for. You wanted the whole method in one place. Well, here it is. My new guide, build a $2,000 wardrobe for $200. Every rule from this channel, no logos, no fluff. The link is below. Go build it. Number 2, Kuhl. Let me give you the verdict first. You're paying for a feeling, not a function. Kuhl's whole identity is born in the mountains. It is rugged image marketing, and it is very good marketing. The pants look the part. They photograph well. The Renegade, the Silencer, the Deceptor all hover right around $99, with the higher pieces pushing past $120. Now, are they bad pants? No, they are competent stretch woven hiking pants with a gusseted crotch and articulated knees, which is exactly what a hiking pant should have. Here is the problem. So does almost every other hiking pant in that price band, and several that cost $40 less. There is no construction advantage here that justifies the brand story. You are not getting a tougher denier, a better gusset, or a warranty that outclasses the field. You are getting a name that sounds like a mountain and a rugged aesthetic stitched into the cut. Kuhl leans hard on the imagery, the moody mountain photography, the tough-sounding model names spelled without their vowels. None of that holds a seam together. A gusset is a gusset whether the pant is called Renegade or called nothing at all. The trail does not reward aesthetics. It rewards a gusset that does not blow out and a fabric that dries. Huel gives you those things, sure, but so does the honest competition without the brand story tax. REI's own house brand hiking pants or a Decathlon trekking trouser deliver the same gusset and stretch weave for $30 to $50 less. A smart hiker reads the construction, finds it ordinary at the price, and walks. The next one hides something most buyers never check: who actually owns it. Number 3. Prana. Here is the insider fact that reframes the whole brand. Prana is owned by Columbia Sportswear. Columbia acquired it back in 2014. It now sits inside one of the biggest outdoor conglomerates in the world, right alongside Mountain Hardwear and Sorel. That matters, because Prana sells itself as the soulful, eco-conscious yoga and climbing lifestyle brand, the antidote to big corporate gear. The aesthetic is earthy, the marketing is mindful, the reality is a corporate-owned label, charging a lifestyle premium. Their flagship stretch Zion pants run around $95 to $100. And to be fair, the Zion is a decent pant, a stretchy nylon weave, a roll-up leg, a reasonable build for warm weather hiking. But you are not paying for a performance edge. You are paying for the aesthetic, the relaxed, climber-cool, sustainably minded image. Strip the image away, and you have a mid-tier nylon hiking pant at a price that assumes you love the story. The Stretch Zion is a fine nylon weave with a 4-way stretch and a roll-up leg. Good, so is half the hiking pant rack at any outdoor store for less. The fabric does the same job as cheaper nylon pants. The difference is the vibe you are buying into, and the trail does not care about your vibe. It cares whether the seam holds when you high-step over a boulder. The smart hiker checks the ownership, sees the conglomerate behind the earthy branding, and stops paying the sole tax. The label is never the layer. The next one actually sells a great fiber and still overcharges for it. Number 4. Icebreaker. This one earns real credit first because Icebreaker genuinely helped pioneer merino wool as outdoor base layer fabric. And merino is the real deal. It wicks sweat, it dries faster than cotton, it regulates temperature, and it resists odor for days. It is the single best fiber you can put against your skin on a multi-day hike. Icebreaker's merino is good wool. I will say that plainly. But here is the catch. Icebreaker is owned by VF Corporation, the apparel giant, and the price now rides the brand as much as the fiber. Their Merino 200 Oasis Crew, a 200-gram weight-based layer, commonly runs $80 to $120. Now, merino is not cheap to produce, so some premium is honest. The problem is the gap. Other genuine merino makers charge far less for the same 200-gram weight, the same wicking, the same odor resistance. You can buy real merino-based layers from honest specialist brands for $30 to $50. Same New Zealand or Australian merino, same gram weight, same wicking and odor resistance on the trail. Brands that knit nothing but merino, sell it direct, and skip the marketing budget. The wool against your skin is indistinguishable. The price is not. The Icebreaker Premium is the logo and the conglomerate behind it. Not a wool that performs better against your back. The merino is real. The markup is the badge. A smart hiker buys merino by the gram weight and the fiber content, not by the name on the chest. A smart hiker buys merino by the gram weight and lets the cheaper honest names carry his back for half the price. The next one wraps an ordinary fleece in a good cause and charges you for both. Number 5. Cotopaxi. So here is the question this one forces you to ask. What is the mission costing you? Because Cotopaxi is built on a genuinely good cause. It is a certified B Corp. It dedicates 1% of revenue to poverty alleviation programs, mostly in Latin America. Its colorful Del Dia line is sewn from repurposed dead stock fabric, so every piece looks a little different. I have no quarrel with the cause. The giving is real, the B Corp certification is real, and the world needs more of that. But you have to separate the cause from the gear. As trail equipment, most Cotopaxi apparel is ordinary. Competent fleeces and pullovers at a premium that is partly the bright design and partly the feel-good story. You are not buying a fleece that retains more warmth per gram or a shell with a better hydrostatic head. Hydrostatic head is the number that tells you how waterproof a shell actually is. It is measured in millimeters of water pressure the fabric holds back. Cotopaxi does not lead with that number because the number is ordinary. You are buying a mission, wrapped in a colorful aesthetic at a price the gear alone would not command. And here is the honest way to think about it. If you want to support the cause, support the cause. That is a fine reason to buy. But do not confuse buying the mission with buying trail performance. They are two different decisions. The smart hiker keeps them separate. He buys the performance where it is best and cheapest, and if he loves the cause, he donates to it directly, where 100% of the dollar lands instead of 1% of a markup. Buy the cause if you love the cause. Just do not call it trail performance. The last one is the strangest of all. Gym clothes in a hiking costume. Number 6. Worry. Verdict up front. This is gym wear wearing a hiking costume. Worry built a premium athleisure empire on soft, comfortable performance joggers. The Sunday performance jogger sits around $110. They are genuinely pleasant to wear to the couch, to the coffee shop, to the airport. But Worry has ridden the outdoor-adjacent aesthetic into territory it was never built for. People now reach for athleisure as trail wear because the brand looks the part. Here is the trouble. A soft brushed poly jogger is not built for the abuse of an actual trail. Brushed poly is a knit, not a tight technical weave. A knit snags and pills the moment it drags across granite or catches a thorn. The Sunday jogger feels like a cloud in the airport. It will look chewed up after one rocky descent. No reinforced knee, no real abrasion resistance against granite and brush. No gusset engineered for a long stride over uneven ground. It is built for comfort and looks, and on those terms it succeeds. But the trail is not a lounge. Rock will pill and tear that soft fabric. Brush will snag it. And the fit that feels great on a flat sidewalk binds when you are scrambling. There is no articulated knee, no gusset cut for a high step. It was patterned for sitting and strolling, not for hauling yourself over a boulder field. You're paying a lifestyle price, over $100, for a garment whose engineering stops at comfortable. That is fine for the gym. On a real hike, it is the wrong tool, sold to you by an aesthetic. The smart hiker knows the difference between athleisure and trail kit. He does not let a soft hand fool him into thinking it can take a beating. The mountain never checked your logo. It checked whether your seam held. So that is the case. 6 brands, and notice the pattern. A lifestyle fox, a rugged tagline, a conglomerate's earthy aesthetic, a marked-up merino, a mission, an athleisure costume. Different stories, same move. The price rides the brand, not the build. But here is the pivot, and it is the good news. The trail function never went anywhere. The honest makers are still out there, selling you the fabric and the warranty instead of the feeling. Let me give you 3. First, Decathlon, through its Quechua and Fourclass hiking lines. This is the value champion, and the numbers are almost unfair. Decathlon is the giant French sporting goods maker, and it designs and sells its own gear with the middleman stripped out. A functional polyester hiking base layer runs around $10 to $15. A genuine fleece mid-layer, the Quechua MH100, sits around $25. A hiking rain shell can be had for $40. Read those prices again, then remember what the villains charge for the same jobs. The Fourclass MT100 merino base layer is real New Zealand wool, around $40, against Icebreaker's $80+. The Quechua fleece is $25 against Cotopaxi's $70. Every single job the expensive names do, Decathlon does for a fraction, with gear designed by people who actually hike. And this is not junk. These are properly designed technical pieces. Wicking synthetics, real fleece warmth, taped or treated rain shells that keep the weather out. Are they the absolute pinnacle of the sport? No, the fabrics are good, not elite, and the finishing is value grade. But for 90% of hikers on 90% of trails, this gear does the job the $200 names promise, at 1/10 of the cost. Decathlon proves the whole premium game is a choice, not a necessity. The store is the closest thing the outdoor world has to a warehouse club. Design it in-house, make it in volume, sell it direct. Skip the brand tax entirely. It is the Costco of the trailhead. A smart hiker outfits the basics here. He stays dry and warm and keeps hundreds of dollars in his pocket for the pieces that actually need the spend. The label is never the layer, and Decathlon barely bothers with a label at all. Second, darn tough. Here is the insider truth every long-distance hiker already knows. This is the one trail item nobody argues about. Darn Tough knits merino wool hiking socks in Vermont, in the United States, and it backs every single pair with an unconditional lifetime guarantee. Wear a hole in them, actually wear them out. Mail them back, get a new pair, free, forever. No receipt drama, no fine print about misuse. You destroyed them, you get new ones. That is not a marketing slogan. That is a warranty with teeth, and it tells you everything about how the company views its own product. The socks themselves run about $26 to $30 a pair, which sounds steep for socks until you do the math. A sock you replace once and never again is cheaper over 10 years than the cheap pairs, the ones you keep tossing in the bin with blown-out heels. Buy 6 pairs of Darn Tough, and you may never buy a hiking sock again. Buy bargain socks, and you replace them every season, forever. Do that math across a decade, and the $30 sock is the cheap one. The merino wicks, cushions, fights odor, and the fine-gauge knit resists the bunching that causes blisters. Wet feet and a wrinkled sock are how you earn a hot spot at mile 8. Darn Tough's seamless toe and dense knit are built precisely to stop that. This is buy it for life done right, made domestically, guaranteed without conditions. There is no lifestyle story here, no mission, no aesthetic, no founder myth. There is a sock that works, made in America, and a promise that holds. That is the whole pitch, and it is enough. A smart hiker buys these once and stops thinking about socks. The mountain never checked your logo, but it will absolutely check your feet, and Darn Tough is the answer. Third, Rab. And here is the verdict for the man who wants to spend real money and have it land in the right place. Rab is a serious British technical brand named after its founder, Rab Carrington, and built for actual mountain use. It is owned by Equip Outdoor Technologies in the UK, the same group behind Low Alpine, a proper gear company, not a fashion house. When you pay a premium for Rab, you are paying for the build. Rab Carrington was a real mountaineer. He started sewing sleeping bags in his attic in Sheffield in the 1980s for climbers who needed gear that would not fail at altitude. That DNA is still in the brand. The downfill power, the number that measures how much loft and warmth you get per gram of down, the shell fabrics and their waterproof ratings, the taped seams, the YKK zippers, the helmet-compatible hoods, the construction details that matter when the weather turns serious on an exposed ridge. This is the brand for the hiker who has graduated past the basics and needs kit that performs when it counts. A Rab down jacket lists its fill power and its fabric weight right on the tag. The numbers are the selling point, not the logo. That is the tell of an honest technical brand. It competes on specs, not on stories. Yes, it costs more, but the difference between Rab and the villains is where the money goes. With fjallraven's fox or Voorhees jogger, the premium rides the brand. With Rab, the premium rides the engineering. The warmth to weight, the weatherproofing, the durability under real abuse. That is a premium worth paying because you can feel it on the mountain, not just in the mirror. This is the rare case where the expensive thing is the honest thing. The smart hiker spends here when the conditions demand it and knows exactly what each dollar bought. The label is never the layer, unless the label, like Rab's, is just shorthand for a build that actually delivers. So read the fabric content, read the weight, read the warranty. The logo will never tell you whether you stay dry on the mountain. Only the merino, the denier, and the gusset can do that, and none of them care what name is stitched on the chest. I'm Bill. I read the fabric, not the logo, and the guide so many of you asked for is finally here. Build a $2,000 wardrobe for $200. Every rule from this channel in one place, linked below. If this one made you look twice at your closet, watch the one on clothing built to last a lifetime. The Buy It for Life breakdown had 199,000 views. Then watch the men's clothing brands robbing you blind, 370,000 views, where this whole read the garment method began. Subscribe. This channel reads the fabric, not the logo.